Hello and welcome back. Okay, so George is dead, or he's been erased, I should say. He's been erased. George is gone, and we're not going to see him again. But, like I mentioned in the last update, George left behind his materia, and I've since equipped those to both, Marco and Nagi. So, Nagi now has sense, and as I showed, if you give each one of your party members a specific materia, later on during their lines, they can learn new moves that they wouldn't normally learn. And it's always weird because I think those are like the only two that actually get any benefits from using Sense or Blade Master.
Well, sounds good.
And George is certainly not going to be the last traitor that we got to deal with, considering that's what the whole premise of the game is based around. In fact, we'll find out who the traitor is on this particular floor at the end of the video. I have to say, yeah, why me? Why would I be one of the few people who has to save the damn world?
And? True.
It's... Toya is so damn self-absorbed. He's the one who's destined to heal the world. The world is mine, but I'm not plotting world domination or anything.
Well, I see.
Arrogant ass, a little bit.
Sounds good.
I don't know why I made the comparison to Yosuke. I mean, slightly similar hairstyle. They both deal with... Well, no, he's electrical and Yosuke's wind, so they're opposites on that. He's just the first guy you meet.
Yeah.
Other than that, almost like night and day. Although, whatever. More on that later. Let's hang out with Nagi. Nagi's always cool. There's gonna be a little bit of talking, but eventually after all this, we're gonna get equipped and move on to the next stage. So Nagi's gonna be super cool now that she has George's sense powers. Nagi's not very talkative. Very opposite of Chie.
I see.
Kind of hard to relate to somebody who is just all soldier all the time. Although I'm pretty sure that that's not a military-based haircut. I'm pretty sure you need both eyes, Nagi, if you're gonna be a soldier.
No.
Ah, well. I'm sure anime military has different dress and body maintenance codes than regular military. Maybe she lost her other eye. Okay. Is she similar to Chie? It's that she gets flustered pretty easily. She gets a little easily flustered. Probably because Chie is so goofy that she gets flustered because of how goofy she is. And Nagi is so friggin' stick in her ass that the slightest bit of the slightest curveball just sets her off.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I see.
Oh boy, more Sojiro. Sojiro is always cool to talk to. Oh, no shit. Almost like the friggin' apocalypse is a high-stress situation. Couldn't have told. Couldn't have guessed that.
Well,
If you were here for that, why would you say that's what you're here for? Unless that's what you wanted me to think, what you're thinking with the... I'm good at faking illnesses.
however, huh?
Where do you belong? Oh yeah, where do you belong? A hospital? Oh, so he's like a doctor without borders. That's cool. Those guys are really cool.
Oh.
Not, well, you don't have to be on the front lines if you don't want to, Sojiro.
I see.
Although I'm not really sure what divine medicine... Divine medicine seems a little... That seems a little, deep.
Ah.
Yeah, I would be a little scared of somebody who kept saying divine medicine. It sounds a bit sketch. Just a pinch sketch. Alright, let's move on to the next. Let's move on to equipping our dudes. We don't need to buy any more katanas. You know, now that George is dead. Erased. Sorry, they don't want to say dead. See, it even says erased on the little bottom screen there. So now, with every floor... Yeah, this time, since I'm not bringing in Yoko or Marco, I just get one handgun. With each floor, you get another... You always get an improved on weaponry. And yet, it gives us another katana as if George was still here. I'll probably skip the, I'll skip, like, buying more equipment for, like, the next... And equipping, I always go to the DLC thing. I'll skip, purchasing equipment and stuff like that for future run... For, like, future episodes. But now that George is gone, I guess I need to throw someone else into the mix. Throw someone else a bone. Right after I do this fantastic item management. Again, just like the gift points thing, I'll skip this from now on. It only takes a little bit of time, but eh. But really what you want to get is your defense items and your main attack items. Until you start rolling in energy, just focus on the necessities. You only have 6 people on your team in a team at once. So just try to think of who you like the most. But don't get too attached because that person you like the most might be gone. That was always the case. Because in New Game Plus runs, which this game practically needs a New Game Plus run in order to get the true ending, you need to play this game over and over again in order to get the true ending. And I'll get into that in future updates. But every New Game Plus does not play the exact same way as the previous one. So, if I played New Game Plus right now, there's no guarantee that George would be the traitor for the first floor. It might be someone completely different. So you want to talk about RNG in RPGs? This is RNG the game. Because every playthrough, there's no guarantee. In fact, it's almost certain that it's going to happen that you will not have the exact same party that you had in your last playthrough. And if you do, then you just... Well, you just have a... You're obviously either very lucky or very unlucky, depending on who you have on your team and how much you like them. So instead of George, I'm going to go with Himino. Because Himino's pretty cool.
However,
There is still a traitor among us. Every floor, you get a new traitor.
Indeed.
And I guess the reason for New Game Plus, and
Well.
now that everybody's seen what happens in that judgment room, they're probably going to be a little bit more subtle than George was in trying to cover their tracks. Also in New Game Plus runs, if George happens to be the traitor, he's not going to hold Yoko up with a fucking sword. He's going to be a little bit more, like, subtle if he's the traitor. If he is the traitor. You don't know.
that's
The only person who's never the traitor is Sho. But in my luck, for most of the runs, with the exception of like one really, really, really good run where I had all of my favorite characters,
Let's go.
like 9 times out of 10 for New Game Plus runs, I'd always end up having my favorite characters turn traitor. That's just how it is. Every floor, you're gonna have to vote on somebody, and you just gotta hope that you get the traitor out of your group, as opposed to an innocent person. But enough about that. We'll find out more about that at the end of the video.
This area is very different from the one before.
It has a lake or a little riverbed.
does the end think to lighten our mood with the change of scenery? It shouldn't be any of his concern. It gives me the chills.
That he's trying to be hospitable.
Backdrop. It's a shame we can't have a fresh start. That seems hardly possible.
I mean, now that George is dead.
Too much looming over us.
The view may have changed, but I sense the hostility in the area certainly hasn't. It's not a good feeling. I'd prefer to be in the middle of a war zone than here.
Wow.
If he's changing
That's
his
fucked.
dress, he could have at least chosen a cuter locale. I'll be absolutely gutted if this is the kind of stuff I'll be seeing.
Mon is kind of one note on liking cute stuff. That's her whole gimmick.
We'll be fine if we stick together.
Such a drastic change should not be possible just by architecture alone.
How is this drastic? There's a few like little pieces of grass and wheat and like moss around, and a little lake or a little river.
Scenery doesn't scare me.
I'd like it better if it were just a tad bit more chic.
Everybody's got their own opinions on the Merciless Tower.
Let's do this.
Nice touch with the water. Oh, but now I've unlocked one of my favorite moves for Sho. I've unlocked 2 moves. There's Critical Shot and Rubble Strike. Critical Shot, you have to get pretty much stick your gun right in their face, but you're almost guaranteed a critical attack. And Rubble Strike is actually Sho's like group attack, and it's pretty good. And I've taught Himino a few new tricks.
How's this?
Like this.
Then let's begin.
Everybody's got some pretty good moves now that I have DLC shit. Yeah. I think I want to show off Tempest really bad, because it just sounds so cool. But instead I opt for a close range coil shot. I have no idea why I did that. But it doesn't matter because I got a critical shot. Yay, Toya's actually hitting something. Toya. I'm just so used to saying Toya. Agito learned a few new moves. But again, his regular attack is pretty damn good.
Assault.
Let's see what Nagi learned.
Time for a change of
Never mind. Now I use coil shot at a proper distance. There you go. Toya's doing a lot better, better with his accuracy this time around. For some reason, this stage always stuck out the most in my head, with the exception of like the final one. Because I know I play all the stages like, even though I played this stage and every other stage multiple times, for some reason this grassland stage just stuck out the most. I don't know why. Hey, now it's people who are missing Toya, except that guy. There you go.
Let's do this.
Toya's doing pretty good now. Now I'm gonna show off Rebel Strike. The best move in RPG history. Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah. It just drops little pebbles on their heads. Bear in mind, some of your moves can attack some of your partners, so be careful. Be very careful. Because you might end up attacking some of your own partners. I mean, sometimes that can work to your advantage, but most of the time I'd avoid. But it also comes with a few negatives, like that person is probably more than likely going to be voted off. Voted off as a traitor, because why else would you shoot your teammates? George was kind of the gimme, but we're gonna get into like the voting for who's the traitor is gonna be a lot more. Is gonna be a lot more complicated in future updates. As usual, Nagi's doing awesome. You can always count on Sho to do some pretty decent damage, even though he's just using a handgun.
You're off target.
They just can't hit her most of the time.
Let's do this.
I think now I use critical shot. But again, you gotta get right up next to him. And it does some good damage. But you're
Let's go.
pretty likely to get countered.
How's this?
I want to show off everybody's new moves at least once. Himino's is pretty cool. Or should I say hot? Eh. She just doesn't do the same kind of damage that Agito does. She's more mage than, like, assassin than Agito is. Agito's all about using his knife. There you go.
I'm not an admirer of that judgment system.
Really?
Yeah, what was that machine? To make someone disappear just like that.
It's pretty fucked, isn't it?
The moment it was complete, we were able to continue our ascent.
Well, the end told us that it would work that way.
Process.
I doubt we'll find a scientific explanation to that. Still, what kind of contraptions has the End placed in this tower? A being with supernatural powers. I'd rather not think such a thing is possible.
But we have supernatural powers.
Doesn't matter. The enemy's still the enemy, whatever powers he has.
But I still want to be his best friend.
Something wrong, Himeno? Looks like there's something bothering you.
My mind's still on the traitor. Makes me wonder.
They will never say who the first traitor is, for obvious reasons.
Another point to consider.
Considering it can always vary.
Is gained by betraying us.
That's right. Every one of us wants to save the world.
Apparently not.
Could there be someone who wants the world destroyed?
Sounds like a boring hobby.
An atrocious hobby, more like it. Everything that lies ahead is the result of events which have already occurred. We kill one of our own, and the result is a stairway to the next stratum. Now there is talk of another traitor among us. This could mean serious consequences.
Another one, huh? That traitor could be you, though.
That is true. Or it could be you.
And it could be said of you as well.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
Everyone's a traitor except me.
You seem quite at ease, but I suppose that's to be expected. There's no way you're the traitor after seeing the Ant look at you with such malice in his eyes.
Is that our only defense for our character?
Maybe he's trying to fake us out so we don't suspect him as the traitor.
Agito, I trusted you.
Someone who's 98% moron. You say some clever things from time to time.
Agito!
You don't think that number's a little too high, do you?
Dick!
It may have been a sincere dislike. It may all just be an act.
But
Either way, you are an irregular among us.
why would it be an act on his part?
You're the one who holds the key.
Yeah, why show?
About that.
I'm a doctor. Shut up. That's why. Do you have a PhD? No, didn't think so. Yay, S rank. And Toya got the most points in that round. And we get a crap ton of experience. Pretty good. Alright, now it's time for more visions.
An atrocious
We'll
hobby.
cross that bridge when we get there.
Please.
After every battle, you will get one of these visions. And eventually, Sho will say something along the lines of, there might be a traitor in this group, or there definitely is a traitor in this group. And then you just gotta pick out who you think it is. Which, Sho's gonna go into detail right now about that. So now it's time to learn about... Any day now? Time to learn about the vision system. This is another option. This is Sho's true power. Using vision can help you determine who the true traitor is. Trust levels can be determined by how well somebody does in combat, how often they're participating in battles, if they're actually shooting one of their partners, if they heal their partners, if they do assist with partners. And then Sho can also predict who's going to be the most likely to be on the chopping block. Also, the number of voices that you hear. If you change your partners out, the number of voices may increase or decrease. So, might want to keep a little eye on that. You can compare it after you swap out party members. My little trick is, swap out only one party member. Swap out the person you think is the most likely to be the traitor, and swap in somebody else. And if the number changes, then you might have found your traitor. So let's talk to Agito, the guy who tried to, pull the rug out from under us. I'll go to hell and back it with you if you want, even though I think you might be the traitor and you're pulling off a huge act, even though I want to be friends with everybody, including the End. I guess it would be kind of weird to just expect the assassin to be pretty coherent or have a straightforward answer. There will be no hard feelings if you try to kill me. I guess I wouldn't resent you. It's beyond our control.
Yeah.
You wanted to party earlier. You weren't serious, right? I mean, you took... Oh my god. He's trying to blow up the whole world. Just because he's our enemy doesn't mean we can't get along with him.
But
What the... Do you not know what the word enemy means? I don't believe in common sense. Yeah, okay. Okay. That's a good way to describe Agito, I guess. Okay. Maybe if you had teleportation. Yeah, I guess somebody who has like Nightcrawler powers would be kind of fucked in the head. A pinch. I like Agito, but he's more than a little weird. Ugh. Alright, let's hang out with Himino. Himino doesn't have a smiley face yet.
You're right.
But there's another traitor, Himino. So we're not going to have the same number of survivors. In fact, I can guarantee we're not going to have the same number. If I'd have to wager a guess, I'm going to go ahead and say we're probably by the end of this game only going to be down to like 6.
What?
I kind of like Zenji's whole let's get shit done attitude. Even if he is a tad abrasive. Still no smiley face, though. Yeah, what does a doctor think about a laser beam that just vaporizes a person? So wait, are we all just stones? Sojiro's perspective on that is a little weird. What does the pop star think?
Yeah.
I think what it said about Yoko's personality is that she wanted to be an idol.
That's right.
Eh. If they're trying to make her, like, a semblance to Rise, no, not really.
You're right.
You'd think Mana would be this, like, the character similar to Rise because she has, like, pigtails. But Rise doesn't. But Rise has, like, I wouldn't really call them pigtails, really. I don't know. I'm making too many Persona similarities here. Even though Atlas is involved with this game, that doesn't mean every game is like Persona or SMT.
You're right.
There's no demons here. There's only like a few voice actors who are the same.
No.
And none of the SMT characters, well, none of the Persona characters tried to kill each other on their party. I mean, SMT characters, oh yeah, people betrayed each other all the time and tried killing each other and destroying the world. That was like a main theme. Anyway, let's check out our vision. This is what how everybody's trust is with everyone else. So Agito's on the chopping. What? No, it was Yoko. All right, so we hear 2 voices. There are 2 voices, so there might be a traitor among our group. Not sure. But just to be on the safe side, I believe I'm going to go ahead and swap someone out. Keep Sojiro near Sho. Yeah, so I swap out Himino for Zenji. just to be on the safe side. You can kind of just play detective at that point. I'm going to show off exactly how you can, like, confirm someone is the traitor. And I think they actually showed it off by... They kind of explained a little bit about using your vision points to delve into the minds of your party members. And you're going to get a more in-depth example about that right after this fight.
Seriously?
Huh?
This mission in particular, for some reason, it's just ingrained in my head now. I don't know. The first stage of the second floor, I feel like I've seen it a lot, but this one particular mission of this floor, I don't know. The map layout's just pretty clear in my head. Nobody can betray each other on the field of battle because that'll just give them away, so you gotta work with each other, while also realizing there's a traitor among you. It's a messed up system, everybody. It's not great.
Then let's begin.
I'm getting lucky with the critical shots. Yeah, Toya continues to, like, hit stuff. I like this version of Toya. The Toya who can actually shoot things.
Good.
I'll tear him apart.
So, Zenji doesn't exactly have that many abilities right now. And also, his damage sucks. For a guy with a friggin' shotgun. You'd expect him to do, like, tons of damage, instead of the guy with the knife. Who's, like, doing so much more damage. But Zenji's gun is not his main means of... is not his main means of attack. Even though he's the only guy with the shotgun. No, Zenji's Pain Sink is a pretty good move for doing damage. Zenji's whole move is about sinking. That's his whole gimmick. He can either sync up with party members to gain access to their stats and later on their moves. And he can also sort of impart a little bit onto people he's synced with. Or he can sync up with an opponent to make them feel the pain that to feel the damage he's gotten.
Let's go.
Time for the goofiest move. Rebel Strike. I love this move. It's so useful, but it's so goofy. And Sho's hands clip right through that gun.
Then let's begin.
I think now I use Tempest. Yeah.
Brace yourself.
Oh, this move looks sick. It's so cool. It just needs to be upgraded more to actually do more damage. Yeah, I take that back really quick. Use a guy who can definitely do a lot of damage, as opposed to the guy who probably won't.
Commencing assault.
Don't get in my way.
Now we use Zenji.
Modulating my mind.
So Zenji's kind of like a Dark Knight from the Final Fantasy series. If only with just that move. The more damage he takes, the higher that Pain Sink attack goes. And now, Nagi has all of George's sense moves. Every move that was associated with his sense ability, she gets access to. So we're going to use Mind's Eye. So now she gets George's, like, katana. And it's awesome. Although she can't actually equip George's katana, which sucks. And it's like, you know, I kind of wanted her to use the katana, because it's cool. Like, actually have that as a weapon. I know it doesn't really work for her combat style, but come on. Katana. Aww. Although I guess a soldier like her wouldn't have a reason to use a katana.
Shame.
Now I just keep looking at Sho's hand whenever he uses Rebel Strike. And it looks like it's just like a big old clumpy like mess. And it's bugging me.
On my way.
It's just distracting now. But now, Sojiro has a mass heal attack. Mass renewal. And he also learned revive.
Let's see to those wounds.
Thanks.
Yeah!
Don't get in my way.
Sojiro is so useful. And it really made me and it made me very, like, curious about this game whenever it mentioned anyone can be a traitor. Because that means Sojiro can be a traitor.
Move out.
Yeah, there you go.
Casualties.
George would be proud.
Let's get this
That
show on the
big
road.
old traitor. Agito doesn't need stairs. Neither does Nagi. They can just teleport or fly right up. I love that little touch.
There you go. Ow!
Agito's getting hit a lot more in this floor than he was in the last episode. And like I said, there's really no point in using the shotgun.
More. Even more.
Just, it's fine if Zenji gets hit. That's what he's there for. So he can, like, do pain sync after he's gotten his ass kicked a little bit. He's kind of like Gamagori from Kill la Kill. In that regard. In which he hurts him, if the more you hurt him, the more damage he, like, puts on you.
My head.
Oh my god, what if this game is more like Kill la Kill than it is... Well, no. Well,
Head.
no. Again, there's like a few voice actors who are similar, but... like Grant George is nothing like Sonic... Like Grant George's Toya is nothing like Grant George's Sonic Ayama. Oh, speaking of voice actors, I said Sho's voice actor was Sam Riegel. That is not correct.
On my way.
His real voice actor is,
On my way.
oh, I'm gonna mess up this name so bad.
I suppose that works.
Let me look at this up. Okay, Michael Sinter Nicholas. Michael Sinter Nicholas. I'm probably butchering the hell out of that guy's name, but that's the actual voice actor. He's really good. He's a really good voice actor. He does. I can't believe I didn't realize he voices Dean from Venture Bros, or he sounds a lot like him. I'm almost positive that's him. Yeah, and he plays Eugene Olja in the newest Bravely game, and also Jackal.
Man, I'm beat.
Trying to see who else he voices. Oh, he was in Summer Wars too.
Jeez, this is like work.
Facing hostile resistance.
Pretty sure. I'm not even paying attention to the game right now. I'm just trying to figure out who's... Yeah, he voices Dean. Okay. Just had to confirm that.
Move out.
Anyway, Nagi's cool. Rider kick. Just always use dive. Always use dive. It never gets countered.
You're off target.
And Nagi can more than likely dodge a lot of attacks. And that big old glowing door, yeah, you have to like go touch a button to go through it. Again, there is a thing, an item behind that door, but I'll show it off at like the last few updates of what you actually get. So yay, A rank. And all my party members get a gift point, including Himeno. Speaking of our party,
You be on the enemy
granting peace for the dead.
This isn't right.
You guys are starting to piss me off.
It's time to see if my guess was correct. There may be a traitor in this group. That's kind of just saying... That one doesn't guarantee you to have a traitor in your group, but it does... Because if he says there's not a traitor in this group, unless you literally have no voices. And then, after each battle, after you hear all the voices, some of your party members are going to want to come over and say, hey, who do you think the traitor is? And since the traitor knows how to play the game, like, hey, probably shouldn't shoot them in the back because that would be so obvious, like George did. I need them to get up and hopefully guess wrong. Because you can totally zap a not traitor person. And when I say that bites you in the ass later on, whoo! Does it bite you in the ass? I'll fill you in. I'll let you know what goes on whenever we get to where that would be an issue. But now, like I said, some of your party members are probably going to say, hey, you know, we need to know who the traitor is, and I got an idea of who it might be. Sometimes they'll say, I think so-and-so is the traitor. But you can go ahead and say who you think is the traitor. I have no definitive answer, although the number of voices in our group went down from 2 to 1. So now I'm definitely eyeballing Himino, but I'm not going to give a definitive answer. I have no idea at this moment, and I need to confirm this, because this might just be a wild goose chase. But the fact that the number of, like, suspicious voices went down, yeah, that's not a good sign for Himino. And also, get used to seeing Yoko and Marco at the top of the board. Because I do not use them that often. And we're going to skip this part. There we go. It's a nice little surprise to just see what gifts I might have gotten or which ones I might have upgraded. Let's hang out with Zenji. Let's hang out with our bro Zenji. What is this crap?
You're right.
Making things look different. I don't like things that are different. I don't like anything. Meh. The end's a bastard-covered bastard, filled with a bastard filling. I butchered the hell out of that Scrubs joke. Let's talk with Toya.
No.
It's strange how all these rooms do look the same. Like the meeting rooms that we have. They almost all look the exact same. And by almost, I mean they all do. It's almost as if they didn't want to design a completely different room for us to hang out in. Yay, we're closer to Toya and Zenji. Let's just see what everybody else has to say.
What is it?
No.
It would be pretty weird if you didn't think it was weird that one of our friends just got laser beamed. Like, George just had a laser beam go right through him and it just, like, disintegrated him. It erased him. That was kind of a shocking sight. And everybody's got something to say about it.
You're right.
To say that you were mistaken that there would be nothing out of the ordinary, yeah, that's an understatement, dude. I don't know. That sounds a lot like the state of the world in The Last of Us. I wonder how Joel and Ellie would handle this kind of situation. I'm pretty sure Joel would have, like, started shanking people the second, like, a traitor was even in the talks. He just starts shanking everybody in the neck. Jesus, Joel!
You know,
You're right.
I wish it was something simple like teleportation. You know, that thing I do. Because I have a concept of that. Well, in a way, they kind of got teleported out of life. That's kind of like teleportation, right? Being, like, erased. Alright. Now it's time to use vision points. So we can use deep visions to delve into the mind of our party member and possibly determine whether or not they're the traitor. And these are really long. So I'm probably gonna skip. I may or may not skip these. I'll skip ones where there is no, like, definitive proof. Where there is, like... I'll skip pointless ones where they're definitely not the traitor.
Huh?
Your party members will try to run away from you while you're delving into their heads. Obviously, because you might be getting too close to this truth.
There's a traitor in our ranks.
And also, they keep recycling the voice clips from that the characters have already said from the first chapter. So you need to run toward the red highlighted words.
If that's the case, I have no intention of stopping here. Save the world. I don't deny it.
And all the red words always make them look evil.
Please. I'm sorry.
And when you use it on George, he says, "We are heroes of justice, America!" He says stuff like that. He doesn't say anything that makes him sound like the traitor. Although Himino has a lot more dialogue that implicates her.
Gone again.
But then again, most characters besides George, and maybe Yoko, sound really suspicious.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes this goes nowhere. And this is a reason why I'm going to be probably skipping this, because this takes a little while. I mean, I get that it kind of pumps up a lot of, like, suspense. But doing this, like, 5 times in a row kind of loses the glamour after, like, a few tries.
All we can do now is move forward.
And you gotta catch them 3 times before you can know for a fact that they're the traitor or not.
Please, wait.
So this last little game of tag is going to determine whether Himino is part of our group or the Ends group.
Another traitor, huh? Why don't you show yourself?
So let's find out, shall we?
I'm sorry. I don't deny it. Look at me. I have no intention.
The traitor will always stay in black.
Moving on.
A member of your party will be in their regular colors. So yeah, Himino's the fucking traitor.
What do you mean? This is a lie, right, Himeno?
Yeah. So the traitor, you only just see their shadow. So Himino is the fucking traitor. She's working for the End. And I can't believe I got that right in the first try. That was really lucky. So in the next update, her ass is not going in my party anymore. And I'm going to do everything in my power to put her on the chopping block. So look forward to that. Until then, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you on the next update.